That's just for you. Hear you guys roar. Hey guys, we're here with the LA Lions. I'm so excited for this interview, so thank you guys so much for coming. I'm so excited to talk about this tonight. So we have a whole room full here for you. So right to my left, we have Daryl Evans. So you're the president of the LA Lions?
Yeah, I'm the president of the LA Lions, and a proud president I am. This is something that we've been working on for quite a few years, but I think the last couple of years really come to fruition, led by Megan Rivera a couple of years ago, and now with Tori, things in Becki's, her behind-the-scenes type of stuff, things have really taken things to a new level, and we're really excited about our program.
Awesome. And then we have Tori Pizzuto.
Yeah, absolutely. I started in about a year ago with the Lions, and it's been a crazy ride thus far. A lot of fun.
And Becki Winckler.
Yes, mother. Mother.
And then we have daughter.
Hi.
Hi. And Riley.
Yes, hi.
Two players right there too. So this is going to be great. Just that we want you all to get to know them, and we want to hear all about your organization and you guys playing. So let's just dive right in and tell me about how all of this got started.
I'll start. So I guess it's about 3 years ago. My daughter started to play travel hockey for the boys, for Junior Kings, and she is fortunate enough to play with a couple of other girls that are just all about the same age. So I just kind of took that and I took it to the Junior Kings and I said, hey, what if we made this like a girls thing? And they totally behind it, but we're very honest and said we try this every couple of years, and every couple of years we get our hopes up, and every couple of years it doesn't lift. And I said, no, I mean, this is it. Like, we've got a solid group of girls. So that was in the spring, and it took all summer, like, begging parents to, give it a chance and come give it a try. And so then we signed up for our first tournament for Labor Day, and we played we played in the boys division because that's all there is. And there were 7 mite teams, and that's the youngest division. And we placed third? Fourth?
Third is said on the website.
Yeah, third. So, and those girls had never played a game together and just went out. And that definitely got the attention of the organization, and then and Megan was our coach at the time. So from there it grew faster than any of us could know, and so within a month we took it from the Junior Kings to the Big Kings and asked if they had any interest in helping us grow a program, not just have a team, but actually like try and put sticks in every girl's hands and develop it. And the youth hockey department was all over it and extremely supportive and excited. And a month later, we made an announcement at Staples that night, and here we are. So super, super exciting.
What kind of things have you done for that growth? Like, how's the marketing been, or how has it been to get the word out and get people really behind it?
I would say early on, literally, like you see a girl at the rink and a mom, and somebody with long hair. Oh, you're a boy, sorry. Just literally grabbing people off the streets, different rinks, watching different teams playing. Oh, they have a girl, and then approaching the parents. But also, that was our inaugural year, and we were only a tournament team, so we only played tournaments. We didn't have games. And but definitely by the end of that season, after 2 tournaments, people started to notice. And the Kings also, at that point, were definitely more invested. And they did our logo. We have a killer logo, and they do the marketing. And they put us out there on social media, which that right there, I think, has been huge. Social media is... That's probably our biggest marketing tool.
And I think, look, JJ, like when you look back to, and thank God, Becki being a mother, I think that's where that initial investment, having a child that, with the parents there that are going to be helping the program, and I think really helped take this program to the next level. So many times, the girls at the young age, they're intimidated playing against the boys. So maybe the elite, maybe the ones that have played for a couple of years, but the newcomers, the ones like we're trying to target right now that maybe been in the in-house program, I think they feel just so much more comfortable playing with the girls and creating that environment. They get the camaraderie in the locker room and that kind of thing. And it's just been great just watching these young girls come together, and now with our young ladies, because I mean, we have a 16U team as well. So we've got them from the little bitty ones all the way to the big ones. So it's from pigtails to ponytails, and it's going good.
So how many different teams do you have then?
We got 4 teams right now. Yeah, 8U, 10U, 12U, and 16U.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, I read that. How was that for you guys, playing versus playing with boys and now playing with all girls? How do you feel about that?
From the start, playing with boys was always different, and then when I started to play with Lions, I became much more comfortable with my team because they all understood what it was playing a girl, like being a girl playing hockey.
I think it's different to play with boys than girls, because girls, it's a lot more like, oh, hey, I know you, we're gonna play each other this weekend. Like, it's more friendlier, and you get to know everyone more than being a girl on a boys team. You don't really connect with everyone else, but then on a girls team, you connect with everyone.
That's great. Yeah, and you said getting the Kings involved. So we have like a former legendary LA King here too. Like, how is that for you? Like, getting to really be involved with these women and helping them hopefully get kind of the opportunities that you have had through your career. Thanks.
Well, it's been great. I've been involved with hockey, teaching at a young level from a youngster. I started teaching when I was 10 years old. So to see, the interest and the attraction to our game from the young girls has been great. I'm one that believes in equality for everybody, and I think we've got a great opportunity to be able to grow our game by exposing it to the girls, and hopefully eventually we take it where they can start going through school, eventually maybe get some scholarships, go back east and play, and maybe one day bring out a professional league out to out to the West Coast. So I mean, that's the long-term dream. I mean, when I first came here, when I was drafted by the Kings in 1980, just watching where our youth program was, it was so far behind. We're growing. I grew up in Toronto, Canada, so from back in Canada and even back in the East Coast. So just to watch where it's growing and the steps that it's taken, and now I think we're opening up a whole new chapter here. Attracting the girls and being able to separate them from the boys. I think the girls are just so much more comfortable, and you look at the two that we have right here. It's two different age groups, but two that have been exposed and have learned a lot, not only about the game of hockey, but probably a lot about, interacting and being a teammate, depending upon a teammate, helping a teammate out. So these are life lessons that we hope are going to continue to keep helping these young girls as they go through life.
Oh yeah, of course. I look back. I know you're sports people too. Your best memories are with those teammates that you had in those moments and those tough times and those good times you go through. So yeah. Tori, talk a little bit more about what you do with this organization.
I just kind of, I overlook everything from, the 8U all the way up to the 16U. I work with all the teams. I help with their scheduling, with their practices, getting the girls extra ice time in clinics. And I find the time myself also to get out there and make sure, all the kids, see my face, know my face, just as Daryl does, and know that, I'm the one that's working to help them get to their dreams. As somebody who went off and, played youth hockey and played college and kind of went through the whole thing, these girls, they like the role models and they like being able to see people like me and the young women that have been through the process, and they're like, oh, and they're interested in it and they want to know how to get there. And for me, it's just the day-to-day. I'm consistently on the phone, and I'll be honest, each week I have a new family on the phone with me, talking, interested, whether they're going to come in this year or next year, or however they're going to be involved, whether it's just on a tournament team. There's girls popping up all over the map, and just at the Toyota Sports Center, our home arena right now, you walk in and you see these girls who've been playing in the in-house leagues, and they go, there's an all-girls team, and they get so excited and so interested, and the next thing you know, we're turning them over and having them play with the girls too. There's always a lot of behind-the-scene administrative work, but I try to put a lot of emphasis on in the rink, on the ice with the girls, so that they're getting everything they deserve to have, especially with some extra off-ice work and stick handling and shooting. We've been working with goal line performance, and the girls have absolutely loved it, and we've been able to see them progress over the first few weeks of the season. So it's been a lot of fun to start connecting into the community and really getting out there.
Any particular messages or things that you want to teach them just based on your past and your career in the sport that you want to pass on to the girls?
I just say love every day, because it goes by fast. from youth to high school to college, you always think, oh, I have a few more years left, and then the next thing you know, you're sitting there running a team or coaching a team, and it's different. So I definitely say enjoy every second of it. Don't look forward to the next game. Look at the game you're at or the practice that you're at.
Great, good advice. All right, so let's talk more about what's kind of practice like with the girls, and what kind of I know you guys do on ice training and also training off the ice. Can you talk more about the kinds of things you guys do with them?
Yeah, well, Daryl usually starts a lot of our practices, and even when he's not there, we start off with power skating. We always say that the best players in any league, boys or girls, are the best skaters out there. And so we like to focus on that and give the girls a basis. And then from power skating, we just move into drills. Each age group has the different models that they follow. The 8Us are obviously not working on the same things as the 16U girls, and we try to do it as a progression. I know with the 16U team in particular, we've been working a lot on our defensive zone in the beginning of the season, and we're progressing from each zone, from the defensive zone, then we'll go to the neutral zone, and eventually we'll get to the offensive zone. And when you progress things and you start slower, it helps the girls learn. And when you break things down as opposed to trying to do more complicated things, even at the 16U level and the 8U level, it helps them. So it's a lot of progression and taking our time and focusing on the skills, especially with the 8U through the 12U. I mean, they don't need to be worried about power plays right now. They should be focusing on their shooting and their stick handling and their skating.
And I think when you look at the girls in the age groups that we talk about, our 10U team is probably the strongest group that we have right now. Some of it because they've been in the game a few years now. They've also probably had the best coaching overall in their short careers. The girls that were 16, they probably, had maybe somebody's father was teaching them that maybe not necessarily played the game or anything like that, but, a credit to them, they were able to push along. But the 12U, they're kind of that in between, and now the 8U, the girls that are coming up now, I'm really curious to see where they're going to be in a couple of years, because they're going to keep getting exposed to more and more things that, let's say, the 10U girls or the 12U girls have seen. And I think when we look at the groups, such limited. I mean, I wish we could have outdoor rinks where we can get the girls on the ice all the time. But we're continually looking for more ice time. We're finding ways to be able to create and enhance their skills off ice, stick handling, a little bit of strength, conditioning, all those type of things. These are things that the girls, okay, yeah, we want to play hockey, and they don't realize, or they're starting to realize, all the little things that go into being a hockey player, whether you're a boy and a girl, and they're starting to learn that. So the off ice workouts are fun. You start to hear a little bit of the belly aching and a little bit of the whining, and and they don't tend to like the coaches too much at the end of those workouts, but it's all good for them at the end of the day. And again, aside from where they go from hockey, whether they take it on to another sport, these are life lessons, discipline, and just playing, being in that structure. And I look back at my own career. I was fortunate enough to play in the National Hockey League, but I'm probably more proud of what I've accomplished post-career and the things that I've been able to do with youth hockey and things like that. And it means a lot to me. So I'm just trying to maybe kind of send that message to to the youngsters. Again, be great to be able to play college hockey, and if they do, I know the parents should be happy not to have to pay for that education. If these girls can get a scholarship, that's like hitting a lottery. So hopefully that's the case. But again, more importantly, it's where it's going to take them in life.
Yeah, of course. I saw a video on your website, a collaboration inside of a training facility. Remember that one? Sorry.
It's the goal line performance.
Yes, that
one.
Yeah, can you talk about that collaboration a little bit, or what they do there?
Sure, that's where the girls go. For off-ice training, they go once a week, and they do team drills. They also do it by age, and they're very good. The coaches there, Derek, the owner, has them go, half of the girls will work on conditioning, like strength training, while the other half are getting individually coached on shooting drills. So he's really, he takes over and works on their form and their shots, working on, and the girls could probably tell you more about that. I am the first to admit that he'll tell me something and I have no idea what, stay forward on your toes or something like that. And when you shoot, I don't know, but they know.
Yeah.
And it's been a great opportunity for these girls. And I'd say one of our biggest challenges is actually getting the buy-in to do it. The boys all do it. They go to some type of off-ice training, and it's apparently again, hockey's new for us, but big off-ice training, big on the East Coast, big in the Midwest, and it's relatively new here. But the boys seem to have all bought into it, and it seems to be a challenge to get the girls to buy in, the girls' families to buy into it. So
Why do you think that is? Why do you think you hit some of these challenges?
well, as a mom, I don't quite get it because she's my daughter and I'll do anything for that. But, she's also my oldest, and a lot of these families, their girls might be their youngest. So I don't, time spread thin by the time you get to the second and third child. But also, I think the culture of sports for girls here is on, and I know that we'll touch on that later, but it's a good time to be a girl, and we need to embrace that for hockey here in Southern California, and it's something that we're trying to get our parents to really, really embrace, and it's an investment for them to put the money in. You can't just go to practice 2 days a week and show up for a game and expect to be a travel level player. Like you need to do the training outside, and that's an investment.
I think you take a look, like if you take at school, kid, when they go to school every day. They come home, and more times than not, they either have a lesson to do at home or some homework, or they're preparing for a test. And that's kind of the same mentality, not only hockey, but every other sport takes. And I think the kids at the young age, when we're starting to get them, whether it be 8 years old, 6 years old, some even as 2.5, 3 years old, are starting to skate and play the game. They're sponges. They absorb so much at that young age. So that's why we try to get to them at that young age. And I think that's why you look back at the East Coast, they found that the more you teach them at that age, the more they absorb, and then you can move on from there. Whereas, let's say with the 16-year-old girls, once you establish bad habits, it's tough to kind of correct those or to turn them back the other way. I mean, we've had some girls or boys that if they pick up the game late, we change them from shooting right to shooting left, which is that's a challenge.
Yeah.
But they've been playing the wrong, basically the wrong way their whole time. So these are things that we can spot at a young age, and you can teach the kids all different positions, so they have a better idea and understanding not only of the game but also their teammates, understanding what their teammates going through. So it's a good mental game.
Sure.
I think Becki kind of hit the nail on the head there with the culture thing. Coming from the East Coast, myself growing up out there is you see sports for women as an option to go farther. And I think that's why the boys are so easy to buy in out here, is that these parents aren't looking at their kids as playing youth hockey. They're looking at, we're going to get a scholarship to high school, we're going to get a scholarship to college, you're going to go play in the NHL or in the MLB or the NBA. Whereas for girls, you don't really see that future quite yet, so we're more focused on our schools and our study, and that culture isn't quite here yet, especially with hockey. It's so much smaller out here on the West that, parents aren't seeing that, oh my God, we can get a full scholarship and go to a school like Harvard or Boston College or BU out on the East Coast. Like, it's just not something that's made it out here yet. And even myself, my parents had no idea. I played hockey growing up for 12 years before my parents understood that I could get a scholarship to go play in college. It's just something that the culture hasn't made it yet, and that's what we're trying to produce with this travel hockey. Is in-house hockey is great, but travel hockey can bring you that much farther and can open opportunities for you.
And I think if just adding on to what Tori was just mentioning there, I think if you look at maybe about the last dozen years, and I know the Kings work so hard at getting the American Hockey League out here, and that's our direct affiliate. That was a team that played Manchester, New Hampshire. They now play out of Ontario, and that's our number one affiliate. So we brought that out here. Last year there were 6 professional teams in the American Hockey League. There's the team obviously in Anaheim. There's San Jose. There's ourselves here. And because of the the work that we've done here over the years, we've now, with a new expansion team, put a team in Las Vegas. So now there's 31 teams in the National Hockey League. So I think if we look at that, now the next step is we've gone to the high school programs. We've got a great high school program that's probably tripled in the last 2 or 3 years. Anaheim's doing a great job with their program, or the Ducks are doing a great job in Anaheim and Orange County with their high school program. And now I think it's the girls' turn. And again, maybe they might be at the back end of the curve on this, but I think it's probably the one that's got the most potential, because you look at the amount of bodies that we've got to work with. I mean, we've only had maybe a sprinkling of girls playing the game, and they're playing with the boys. But I think if we can, continue to keep pushing this, we fill that gap, and eventually I think what we're going to see, Arizona's got division hockey. We're going to start seeing it, whether it be SC, UCLA, Loyola, Santa Barbara. So I think once we can get college hockey out here, I think we're really going to light things up, and you're going to start to see these kids, and I think the parents will buy in. They'll understand it. Hey, there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Right,
You know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
where the boys are thinking, you know, NHL or NBA, you know, whatever sport that they're in. Now they're thinking, okay, now I can get my daughter can get
Yep.
you know into school. So
Yeah. Well, we're talking kind of about that culture. Can I get your guys' thoughts on the U.S. women's team and the stand that they just took? What do we think about that?
I think these guys got something to
Right?
say.
Let's hear ya.
What?
No.
You go.
No.
for once they're silent.
Yeah, you go. You both go.
Yeah, I heard you gasp over there. Somebody had something to say.
Yeah.
Or were you just excited about the U.S.
I was
U.S. team?
excited about the U.S.
I know they're pretty awesome. We say all the time in our house, it's a good time to be a girl. And that whole movement, that whole team, like I can't talk about it because I will cry, but they are an amazing group of women, I know. And we still follow them on social media, and they are such an inspiration to all of these girls out west, and they get super excited when they hear about them and follow them, and it's because of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think when you look at like the impact that those young ladies have had on these girls, you know, we've had a number of guys. We're fortunate enough to have a number of our alumni that will go out and help out with our programs, whether it be our high school leagues or our travel teams and things like that. But I think these girls, it really, really excites them when they can have one of those Olympians come out, and it's just it's a role model. Like, you know, somebody look at me. You know, of course, if Connor McDavid, you know, the stars in our game come out, you know, the Anjay Kopitars, Drew Dowdys, and things like that. You know, there's a buzz there. But I think when they see one of these young ladies come up, because this is the path, these are the footsteps that these young girls are going to go in. You know, it's just their eyes, they just light up. We had a women's camp last summer, or a girls' camp last summer, and you could just see them out there. You know, we had a couple of NHL players out there, you know, ex-NHL players out there, but it was the girls that was, you know, that were getting the hot buttons going for little ones. So
Yeah.
it was good.
Yeah, because that can be you.
Yep.
And that's what
Yep.
you got to know and see that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, when I was researching that too, I read an article that said that that U.S. Hockey didn't support the girls' development teams, and ESPN reported that they gave the boys' development program $3.5 million and $1.4 million to the United States Hockey League for boys as well, but no programs at all like that for women.
Yeah.
At all for girls. Yes.
Yet.
So that's what you guys are all
Oh, yeah.
shift and change, right?
Yes, yeah. That's why we keep saying it's a great time to be a girl for
Yeah.
everything, every sport. I mean, it started. You could go back as far as Mia Hamm and Julie Foudy for soccer. I mean, what they've done, and these women on our national team are that for this generation, and the impact that they're making on growing the game is phenomenal, and we definitely have tried to capitalize on that out here in the West. And it'd be nice to have I don't know, that type of thing out here. And I think we're heading that way. It's just everything's on the East Coast. So
Well, I think those girls are starting to recognize it too. The ones that have been the Olympians, and that, you know, as they come out here, we have them, whether it be at our camps or, you know, other girls' camps across the country. I think they're understanding and really getting a good idea of how hockey, the potential for girls to grow out here is, and you know, it's exciting for them too. To, you know, you go into a rink and, you know, all those little girls, they just look up at you like you're God, you know, type of thing, and it's a good feeling. You know, I don't care whether you're a professional, an Olympian, or anything like that, but when you can capture the attention of youngsters like that, it's you know, you hit home, and you know you're going to have an impact or an impression on their life.
That's great. Before we go more into the future, let's talk more about the season this year and how things went. I know we have some video from, you sent some clips of the girls in action as well. So tell me how many, talk about the season a little bit, like how many total games you had, how everything ended up.
I can't see.
So we're just starting our season this year. This is last year. This is 2 years. This is our first MLK in San Jose against the Sharks, and they are tiny.
They're so small.
This is
Yeah.
right?
That's 8U.
We have a couple videos
this is
too.
That's 8U, and that was definitely our flagship team
can see
that's
it.
grown into the 10U. They are a solid group of girls, and a good chunk of those girls are girls that started playing with the boys. Is this?
This looks like this year.
I think this might be the last one you sent
Okay.
me. Yeah.
Okay. So this is 8U.
Oh,
It looks like
they're
8U.
so small.
Yeah, it
you.
looks like
You're so small. That was you 2 years ago. Yeah. So 8U plays. No, this must be a tournament because they're not cross ice, are they? I can't tell.
No, they're coming out of the zone. Or are they playing half ice?
I think this is last year because I
Yeah, half
Okay,
ice.
so that's a tournament because they're half ice also.
Yeah.
Does that mean?
So-
with the new boards and everything.
I don't know, but
Oh.
so our first year we did just tournaments. There's the Lady Ducks host a tournament, and then the San Jose Lady Sharks host a tournament, and we're required to do those. So we did those, and 8U won both championships our first year, and so then the next year, which was last year, we launched. That's when we launched Ska Hot teams, and we had 8, 10, and 12.
12, 12, yeah.
And no, yes,
Yeah, in
8U,
Ska Hot, yeah.
8U did great. 10U did phenomenal, and I don't know how 12 did.
12 guys.
12U did well compared to the season before.
Yes.
Like they had a lot of success, some wins, a lot of goals scored. Not as many wins as you would like in a season, but for where they were the season before compared to how they ended last season, it was a huge increase for them, and it was fabulous to see. And that's just against the boys teams. I mean, in the tournaments last year, we had 8U won a tournament, 10U won a tournament.
Both.
2 tournaments. 12U placed second, which nobody even expected us to even make it into the playoffs up at that tournament. And 14U made it into the
14U.
playoffs. We had a 14U, just a tournament team, go out last year.
At MLK, we placed
Yep.
second.
Yep, at MLK.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, that's just, our first year really on the map and having so many teams, and, we're making it into the playoffs and into the final game, and it was like, everybody was kind of like, who are these guys? Where are they coming from? And so it was great to see. It was a lot of success compared to, where we started right before that, so.
So where can people come if we still want to catch them in action this season?
So our season preseason ended this past weekend, and so we officially kick off our very long season this coming weekend. Goes all the way through February, I think.
Yeah, the girls are all over the map.
Yeah.
If you want to get the game schedule, actually, you can go on the Ska Hot website. And we're all over the place. Our home rink, we play out of Toyota Sports Center in Lakewood. That the schedule is made completely by them, so we can't exactly just project where we're going to be. But we play out of several different rinks, all up and down Southern California.
Yeah, from Bakersfield to
Yep.
San Diego to Santa Barbara, Riverside.
Yep.
Puts the travel in travel hockey.
Yes, it does.
Will it be up on your site too, or we need to go to
should
the
be.
other site?
Yep, it's already
yeah.
on our site as
Okay.
well. Yeah,
Yes.
you can click into each individual team page, and all of the schedules will be there. And it's also on our main page. All the upcoming games are right on our homepage there.
Yeah,
So.
and they haven't released the full season schedule yet. It's only been like chunks at a time. So I believe we only have through October, maybe the first week of November. But when we have them, they're posted.
Awesome. So everybody be able to come check you guys out, right? What are you guys looking forward to most in the season?
I'm looking forward to seeing, because we record our games most of the times, I'm looking forward to look back and see how we started as a team and how much we've improved, because 16U's had a couple games recently, and to see the difference between our first game and our second game, it's already been huge, so I'm excited to see where the season goes.
I'm excited for like buddies for tournaments and seasons, because it's really fun to have an older girl that you get to see almost maybe once or twice a week, and you get to see them and you get to hang out with somebody that's on a higher level team and they've played more maybe, and they've just it's nice to have a friend that's older than you.
So do you guys pair them up with
Yeah.
the buddy? That's what the buddy is?
Yeah, so
Like
so we'll pair up our youngest with our oldest, all the way down the line, and you know, Lily has my answer as far as what I used to love to do as a youth player is, you know, you look forward to the tournaments, because at the tournaments, you know, it's all hockey. You show up, you're hanging out with your friends on the other teams, your whole organization's there, and all you're doing is going to the rink, playing hockey, hanging out at the hotel, swimming in the pool, eating a lot of food, and it's just that's what it's all about, you know. And then you got the grown-up answer from Riley, you know, just being able to watch the growth. You know, she's right, from the first game with the 16U to the second game, it was night and day. And to watch these girls be able to grow and to be able to take from their first game and move into that second game and already just increase their level of play and want to get better. You know, as coaches, we, you know, they spoke together and they were just like, it was amazing. Every single player was just a level above where they were. So it's a lot of fun to watch. But yeah, I think tournaments is what they look forward to most.
Yeah.
Decorating hotel room doors.
Yeah.
Yes, and team dinners and things like that we get to do together.
Pool parties.
It's a lot
Pool
about
parties, yeah.
Yeah.
it's a lot about the camaraderie in this sport.
So nothing to do with hockey. Is what we're
Yeah.
Pretty much.
We got away from that, sorry.
But it grows into it. We see, right?
Well, I think when you look at it, you know, like as the girls are talking about, you know, doing the pool parties, the hotel stuff and things like that, you look at professional athletes, regardless of what sport you're in, it's that camaraderie that keeps those guys together or the women together. I mean, the fun that they have, the memories that they have. You know, I have friends that I played with when I was younger than they are now, and we still go back where we still reminisce about times, you know, different tournaments we were at, and you know, all the shenanigans that went on, and that kind of stuff. So it's great that they have those type of dreams and things to look forward ahead of them.
And that's
for
the
sure.
point of, that is what I wanted, and that is what Megan wanted when we started this, because my daughter is one of the girls that plays on a boys team, and just because you're the girl on the team doesn't make it a co-ed team. It is still a boys team. And there were some great families we've been fortunate enough to play with over the last couple of years. And a lot of the boys are, hey, this is just another player. But then there are the boys who just never embraced it. And you don't get that with the girls. Like, you really, I remember the first time they took the ice at the Labor Day tournament, and I cried. And I was not the only mom crying in the stands. Like, to watch this group of girls go out, and I still cry. Every tournament, the first game, when I watch this group of girls take the ice, I get teary-eyed and I get emotional. And you watch them, you watch them communicate with each other out on the ice, and they're out there talking to each other, and they're out there lifting each other up. And a goal gets in, and guess what? They're like right there with the goalie, like cheering them on and telling her it's okay. And there's no bad attitude, stick banging, or we lost, and it's different. I'm not going to say it's less competitive, because it's not. We have a pretty competitive group of girls, but there's just something special to watch the girls all play together, and it's, as a mom, super heartwarming.
Oh, I'm sure, and you should be very proud of yourself for creating this and, you know, making this happen, and the dreams you're making come true. I wanted to ask that mom perspective. What differences do you see versus when she's playing on the boys' team versus playing on the girls' team?
Well, I would say that she is a stronger player on the girls' team because she's given more opportunities. Although her new boys team this year is a new team, and they're awesome, and she walked away from her first tournament with them and she said, wow, I touched the puck more with the boys team in this one tournament than I did all last season. And that kind of says something about what she came from, and you know, the team she's in now. So the boys now are very embracing, and the family, and that comes from the parents. So I don't know, but for as far as this year, what it will look like, the difference between the boys and the girls. But with the girls, she was definitely a leader, whereas with the boys, she was just a player.
And Riley, you did both as well, right?
Yes.
And-
Over the spring, I think, of this year, I played on a high school JV team. I was the only girl on the team, and it was a blast. It was a lot quicker than I'd played with, but it was fun.
Did I read right when you first started out, though, were you defense, and then when you went to the girls' team, you moved to center and got
Yes.
confident, and then you went back and you were ready for center? Can you talk about that?
It was back and forth. I started out as a defenseman, and then when my first tournament with the girls, we had, I think, like 7 girls on the ice, so we were all like switching back and forth. But I remember playing center like the majority of the game, and I wanted it. The puck was mine every time. I was battling harder than I'd ever felt, and then I kept going, and I soon became one of the leading centers on the team. I played, I think, 1 year of 12U and a year 14U, and I was one of the centers on both of the teams, and it's just. And then I went back to defense because we had more centers coming in, and I could play both. So I went back to defense, and it's still fun playing defense. It's the physicality is getting more intense as you get older, and that's definitely making the game more interesting.
Awesome. All right, well, let's look to the future. Let's talk about what are your guys' future goals for the LA Lions?
I mean, to start off, I'd say at least a team at every level, obviously. You know, we want to give girls options all around. You know, this year we were unfortunate that we couldn't put out a 14U team, but we were able to pull some girls up, and they're playing with our 16Us, and they're having a lot of fun. But you can see it. I mean, you can see the difference in the size and the age and the skill level, because they're 2 years younger than some of their teammates, or even 3 years younger than some of their teammates. So I think the ability to have a girl come into our program at any age and be able to say, "Hey, we have a team for you," is always the future goal. And then beyond that, as much as these girls coming through this program and having fun, but it's their want to continue and to go on to college and to be able to provide that option for them. We don't want to force anybody into it that doesn't want to do it, but we want to give them the tools if that's where they want to go and that's where they want to be.
I think from my standpoint, being on the ice when I get a chance to be out with them, and I try to skate with all the teams, is just try to improve their skills. So when it does come time to play a game, the game is so much more fun when you have that strong foundation underneath you. And it's really amazing. I remember the first couple of times we went on the ice watching their skating ability, or probably more so their puck handling ability. It was like stick handling with a tennis ball in a gravel pit. I mean, the thing was bouncing all over the place. But now there's a little bit of flow. They get the wrists going. So and you can just see the confidence now. They're not afraid to hang on to the puck in that. So just developing all those individual skills that allow them to be able to go out and become part of that team and be a contributor to that team, so they don't feel like they're on the outside. And I think the girls do a great job at embracing each other. Never once you see, it was her fault, it was her fault, it was her fault. It's almost like somebody got scored on or somebody got knocked down. They're giving that person a pat in the back more than they are for the person who scored a goal. So I love that type of camaraderie, and I just hope to continue to keep seeing it grow.
Yeah. Now, you had the nickname Motorboat, correct? So you're teaching the girls some...
There's some good skaters out there. I try to keep up with some of these little ones. They've got a great foundation. I think every generation that comes along, and it's not even a generation, it's every few years, they're, because of with the internet and the things they're able to see, they're able to break down games in that. They're able to pick up so many things, like the way they handle a puck. I mean, these are not things we were able to do when we were their age. Even the girls handle it better than I did, probably at 8 years old. In fact, I was so bad I couldn't even stand up and became a goalie. But no, I mean, and that's the truth. So I think they're doing a great job at taking that and kind of running with it. And the sky's the limit. I mean, what you get out of it, what you put into it. And I know there are a lot of ambitious young ladies, and they're going to get a lot out of this game. Not necessarily just in the game of hockey, but I think when they grow up and be young ladies, where it takes them in life.
I'd like to see a 6U team.
Yep.
I'd like to go
that'd be a
younger.
lot of
I'd
fun.
like to see 6U, and I would like to see 2 teams at every age level, because
She's thinking really far in the future.
I like it.
I'm
Visionary.
I'm thinking next year. I don't ever want to turn away a girl that wants to play. And we were able to, I was crushed when our 14 team didn't lift, because there are girls who should be allowed to play this year and they're not. And I have a problem with that. My profession is, I am a kindergarten teacher, so I'm obviously for the children, and to turn girls away is not what I want. So I would like to see 2 at every age, and have them be tiered, different levels. That's great. You want to play. Maybe you play 2 other sports and you don't have the time to commit, but you still want to play hockey. So guess what? You're on you're on this B team, and
Almost like a varsity or JV
yeah,
team
you're,
type of thing
you're
at
fully
each
in,
level.
and I do think that we will go that way. And you asked about the future. Daryl and Tori and I have talked about it. I want to put sticks in every girl's hand. Like every girl in Southern California plays at least AYSO one time. Seriously, like,
Yeah,
and that's great.
Yep.
And we need to figure out how to get them on the ice for one season.
I like to see it become part of the PE curriculum, like where that, if they're able to take up hockey, and again, even if it starts with ball hockey or field hockey, anything like that, just to kind of a little bit of a sampling, a little bit of a taste, and let the girls decide where they want to go. We're not trying to make their decisions. We just want to give them the opportunity.
Yep.
It was in Nebraska. We played it in the gym all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up on a lake. We played it out there.
See?
Yeah. So it's happening. It's
Well, the
moving now
way the
this
weather's
way.
changing, you never know. We might get some frozen water here soon.
Yeah.
I know you touched on it a little bit before, but just so everybody can hear it again, if they do have girls out there who are interested in playing, how can they contact you? How can they get their girls into tryouts? What kind of things can they do to join this program?
Well, I would say the main point of contact is just head to our website. My information, Daryl's information, Becky's information is all there. They can reach out to any of us at any point, and we're happy to chat, whether phone, email, however it is. We're always welcome to having girls, step out on the ice with us once, to try it out, and then from there we can move into the different spectrums. We will be having in December a Try Hockey for Free Day at the Toyota Sports Center and at the Riverside Ice Arena. So that would be a great option for everybody that would be interested if you've never tried it before. And we want to have more of those in the future. So there's going to be some more platforms coming out, but at this point I would just come to our website, take a look, and reach out to us if you're interested, and we could always point you in any direction you're interested in.
Okay, that's great. Are there any other things you guys need as an organization? Like, where do you need more coaches? Do you need more other ways people can help you with anything?
Goalies.
You say that, and I feel like we have goalies coming out
Yeah,
of our campus in certain teams. I feel like in the beginning it was kind of hard to get coaches, and I feel like now that people are realizing, like, we're here. It's definitely we have a lot more experienced coaches wanting to be a part of it, which is great. But I think the best thing about our program currently is that these two come out on the ice all the time with the girls, and the parents appreciate it, and the parents need it. The parents love to see it, and not because Daryl is an alumni or anything like that. They appreciate the experience that he's bringing to the ice and to the girls and to their daughters. And the parents love Tori, and they see her as the face. And I just ran into a family at Coffee Bean 2 weeks ago, and the dad was going on and on about how great Tori is and how solid she is and how thankful he is that she's at the helm, and he loves seeing her out there on the ice all the time. And that was maybe one of our hardest families to win over. So they need to stay on the ice is what we need. And when they're out there, our parents are happy, and the girls are happy, and that makes parents happy.
Yeah.
And I think when you look at the standpoint with Tori on the ice and with Megan, I may sit in a position of being the president of the group, but I think it is their input and their participation being on the ice, because a lot of times, I think when a lot of sports get started, whether boys or girls, you tend to see a male figure as the coach. But I think now that we've got these young women, and not only that they're coaching, but they learn a little bit about the level where these girls played at growing up. Again, it's something for them to kind of look forward to. And these, the young ladies, Tori and Megan, have done an outstanding job at, keeping this program going, getting it going, along with Becki with the off ice, putting that stuff all together. But these young ladies, it's just endless hours going in there. And I'm just, I'm just happy and fortunate to be part of it. I mean, I'm not allowed to, or I don't have the luxury to be out there as much as I'd like to, but knowing where the program is in the hands of these capable young ladies, it's a no-brainer. It's all good.
He says that now because the season's starting, but when it is not the season, he is out there
All the time.
all the time, all the time.
That's all good.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're just about out of time, and I want to make sure we get to the game real quick with you guys. We usually do a Tom Girl of the Week here every week, but this week, guys, these guys are my Tom Girls of the Week. So the LA Lions are Tom Girls of the Week. But we got a game called the Lions Den. Let me find your questions, and it'll just be a quick round of some questions for you guys. All right, and you can each answer the question, or but we'll let you both answer. Okay, what do you love most about hockey?
I love the team aspect of it because with my school friends, it's always kind of hard to see them over the weekends when I have hockey going on, but I'm not sad all the time because I've got another group of friends that I'm ecstatic to see on the ice all the time.
How about you?
What was the question?
What do you love most about hockey?
I like seeing my friends every day at the rink, and I like, school is different than sports because school's like you have to do this, but then hockey's like you have like maybe a week to learn one thing, but then in school you have one day, and hockey's not as stressful, and you get to see friends and goof around more than in school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you have any game day rituals?
Oh, God.
It's become more of a habit, but I put my skates on the specific feet, like in order.
Well, I hope they go on specific.
Like I do one foot and then the other every game. And we're gonna start like playing music, but then we started dancing around, and then we were really tired before the game. So I don't think
That's good to know.
That's not gonna become a ritual.
Save that till after.
What does ritual mean?
Like a tradition that you do.
Like
before
you wear a
every
certain
game.
ponytail.
Habit, tradition,
yeah.
habit or something like that.
Oh, I have to go my right shin guard, and then my left shin guard, and then my right sock, and then my left sock.
Oh, I'm
and
the
then my right
opposite.
skate,
I have to do left, then the
and
right.
then my left skate, and then my chest pad, and then my right elbow pad, and then my left elbow pad, and then my jersey, and then my helmet after coaches talk.
You forgot your pants.
And
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And
My pants and my shells.
I have to put all of my gear on up to my jersey, and then I go fill up my water, and then I come back and do it. That has to be right there.
I don't fill up my water.
You never bring a water.
Now, when does the hair get prepped to go underneath the helmet? That's what I want to know.
Oh, okay. I come to the game with my hair in a ponytail, and then it's like an amazing ponytail, and then I get there, and then it's so high that it's like pressing against my skull in my helmet. So then I have to undo it and then redo it really ugly so that it fits in my helmet.
That's why if you get a hockey haircut like mine, you won't have that issue.
I go through 2 ponytails: a dry land ponytail, and then a game ponytail.
That's a new one.
Pony's always important. I remember that. Yeah. Last question. What's your favorite thing about being an LA Lion?
You can go first. I've gone first on everyone.
Okay. My favorite thing about being an LA Lion is seeing your friends, talking on the ice. It doesn't matter if you mess up or you don't score on a breakaway or a shootout. It doesn't matter if you miss the net, hit the net, whether you're good or you're bad. It just matters about how you connect with the players and how friendly you are and how nice you are.
Yeah, I love that everyone knows everyone. I love seeing the 10U girls and the 8U girls because I've made friends, like lots of close friends that are like 4 or 5 years younger than me. And it's nice knowing that no matter if I'm skating with 8U, 10U, 12U, I'm always I'm gonna know them. They're all gonna be my friends. Everyone that's part of Lions has become part of my family. So it's really nice to get out there with them.
That's great. Well, that's great to end on.
Yeah.
I think we are out of time, but I just want to thank you all so much for taking the time and coming here. It was great to meet you guys, meet all of you, and
Thank you.
just can't wait to see where this program goes.
We're going to have to get you out to a game one day.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Yeah.
You
I
can
would
sing the
love
anthem.
to.
We'll let you sing
Ooh,
the
I don't
anthem.
think you want me to do that. No, but I definitely want to come. Well, yeah, like
That
I
would
said,
be
I'm bringing
great.
my niece. So I'm
Yes.
gonna get her one
Yes.
too. Yeah.
We'll make
Yeah.
sure we get you tickets.
Yeah.
It's a hot ticket in town.
Sold out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, where can they follow? If anybody has Twitters they want to follow, or
So our Twitter handle is at LA Lions Hockey, and same with our Instagram and Facebook as well. It's in line with our website, and you can actually also on our website shows the recent tweets and posts and pictures, and
It's a great little group to follow. It's,
Yeah.
it's,
it's
and
a lot of fun.
as the young ladies are getting older and better use of it, you're going to see some real interesting stuff on there.
Oh, can't wait. Well, the future's going to be great. So thank you guys so much. That
Thank
wraps us
you.
up for tonight. We will see you again here next week. Thanks for watching.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.